Today we are going to start another topic in Geography chapter Agriculture, Technological and Institutional Reforms. Before starting this content, we want to know in detail about the various sections we have studied till now in this chapter. So first of all, we studied about the various features of Indian agriculture. Then we studied about the various types of farming techniques practiced in India, various cropping seasons or cropping patterns in India. Then we studied about the various types of crops, which includes food crops, non-food crops, then fiber crops, horticulture crops, various types of crops, their geographical conditions, everything we studied in detail. So now through this topic we want to know how our government helped the agriculture sector in India. So we know that from all these sections we have studied in this chapter, our country is giving a lot of importance to agriculture. So agriculture practiced in India for thousands of years ago. That means for thousands of years we are practicing agriculture in India. And it provides livelihood to more than 60% of its population. That means more than 60% of our population in India, they are considering agriculture as their livelihood. But what happened is that most of our farmers, they are very poor and they depend mainly on monsoon rain and natural fertilizers rather than agriculture food or chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So after independence, our Indian government decided to adopt two technical and institutional reform ways to help the agriculture sector, to help the poor farmers. They adopt these two ways, one by land reforms and another by agriculture reforms. So our government adopt the technological and institutional reforms in two ways, one by land reforms and another by agriculture reforms. So this land reforms, we know that the first 5-year plan in India, they are giving a lot of importance to this land reforms. And this land reforms, they are giving a lot of importance. And another one is agriculture reforms. So now we want to study in detail about the land reforms and agriculture reforms. Land reforms, it includes collectivization, consolidation of holdings and corporation and abolition of zamindari. So land reforms was adopted by our government through three ways. One is collectivization, one is consolidation of holdings and another one is corporation and abolition of zamindari. And the second one, agriculture reforms, it is adopted by Green Revolution and White Revolution. So first we want to study the three methods included in land reforms. One is collectivization. So this collectivization, this term, it was first introduced by Joseph Stalin in Soviet Union, and the main idea behind this was to consolidate individual land and labor into collective farms. So the main idea behind this collectivization is a consolidation of individual land and labor into collective farms. In order to help the individual farms and the poor laborers, they put forward this idea of collectivization. Second one is consolidation of holdings. What is consolidation of holdings? It means redistribution of all or any of the lands in an estate or subdivision of an estate to reduce the number of plots. So what is consolidation of holdings? It means redistribution of all or any of the lands, which includes an estate or some areas of estate, to reduce the number of plots. In order to reduce the plots and in order to help the farmers and their holdings, everything. They are just having this idea of consolidation of holdings. Then last one is cooperation and abolition of zamindari. That means to stop the practice of zamindari system in our country. So the three main ideas introduced through the land reforms were collectivization, consolidation of holding, and cooperation and abolition of zamindari. Then next is agriculture reforms, which includes green revolution and white revolution. You are very familiar with this term green revolution. We know that our agriculture system now practice this green revolution. So this green revolution, this term and the idea was first introduced by Ernest Norman Borlaug. He was known as the father of green revolution in the world. But in India, the Green Revolution, this term and the idea was introduced by M.S. Swaminathan. So, Green Revolution in India was introduced by M.S. Swaminathan. So, he was known as the father of Green Revolution in India. And it was introduced in India. The Green Revolution was introduced in India in the year 1965. Wheat was the first crop to be produced on this basis. So wheat was the first crop to be produced on this basis in India. Through this green revolution, we are using HYV seeds, high yield variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides, insecticides, and new methods of irrigation facilities, all that. But what happened is that we started this green revolution, or we introduced this green revolution with many new ideas, aims, everything. But it was not that much of success because it creates a lot of problems. And only two states in India, Punjab and Haryana, they were very much success as a result of green revolution. And our India, we are not having that much of success. In our India, we are not having that much of success in all other states. And the green revolution also creates some environmental problems like water scarcity, then land degradation problems, soil erosion problems, all that. And it also leads to desertification of land also. So we want to use this green revolution with utmost care. Next is the idea is white revolution. The white revolution is otherwise known as Operation Flood. It was introduced by Dr. Verghese Kurian in India in the year 1970. And this Verghese Kurian, he was otherwise known as Milkman of India, because white revolution is related with the dairy products and their productions and everything. So before the coming of this white revolution, our India is a milk deficient nation. But after the coming of this white revolution, India becomes one of the world's largest milk producers. So that success was given to Dr. Verghese Kurian. That was white revolution. So in agriculture reforms, we introduced these two topics. One is the green revolution and another one is white revolution. But these two ideas along with the land reforms, it does not make that much of success that we decide or we think. So what we want to do, or our government want to do, is that they want to introduce some other new ways to improve agriculture. So they introduce some ways to improve agriculture other than this land reforms and agriculture reforms. They are provisions made for crop insurance, provisions for loan facilities, then Kisan credit cards, personal accident insurance schemes, weather bulletins, and minimum support price. So first one, provisions made for a crop insurance. So provisions for a crop insurance, that means if the farmers' crops were affected with natural calamities like flood, famine, drought, cyclone, fire, disease, or anything, any natural calamities affect their crops, then these farmers, they are just getting insurance for their crops as a result of this. That is known as provisions made for crop insurance. Then provisions for loan facilities. That means farmers through Grameen banks, cooperative societies, they are giving loans to farmers at low rate of interest. So through these loan facilities, the Grameen banks, the cooperative societies, they are giving loans to farmers at low rate of interest. Another one is Kisan credit cards, KCC. Those farmers who don't have money to buy farm equipments and not having time to avail for loans during harvest seasons can use these cards to buy HYV seeds or fertilizers or anything. But after harvesting, they want to credit the amount already they have been availed from the bank as a part of this Kisan credit cards. So this Kisan credit cards, it helped the farmers, those who are not having money, those who are not having time during harvesting seasons to avail for loans. With the help of these credit cards, they can buy whatever they want for their farms. But after harvesting, they want to give back to the amount to the banks. That is known as Kisan credit cards. And this personal accident insurance schemes, it links with this Kisan credit cards. Those farmers, those who are having Kisan credit cards, they can have the benefits of this personal accident insurance schemes. From this term itself, you can understand if the farmers affected with any accidents or any other problems, then their families is getting an insurance scheme as a part of this. This links with this Kisan credit cards. Those farmers, those who are having this KCC cards, that means Kisan credit cards, is having the benefits of this personal accident insurance schemes. Another one is weather bulletins. In India, I just told you that many farmers are very poor. They are not having that much of education all that, and they can't know about the changes in the weathers. So our government, with the help of the Indian Meteorological Department, they published weather bulletins in TVs or newspapers or radios to help the farmers to know about the weather forecast and the weather changes that we are having in our country. The last one is the minimum support price. So the minimum support price, MSP price, that was given to farmers by our government to overcome the exploitation of the middlemen. So the government, they are having a direct link with the farmers, and this helped the farmers to just gain a lot of benefit from the government. So in order to have all this, the government started this MSP price. So these are some of the new ways introduced by our government to improve our agriculture sector. So these are the new ideas that we want to study in this concept or topic, technological and institutional reforms. So next we want to know about another topic related to this area, that is Bhudan and Gramdan, or otherwise known as bloodless revolution. It is otherwise known as bloodless revolution. So what is Bhudan and what is Gramdan? Bhu means land and Dan means a donation. At the same time, Gram means village and Dan means a donation. So in this topic, we want to study about the donation of land and about the donation of a village. So this happened in our country without a single shed of blood. So it is known as a bloodless revolution. So the idea of Bhudan or Gramdan was introduced in India by one of the famous spiritual follower of Mahatma Gandhi, that is Vinoba Bhave, who wanted to spread Gandhiji's ideas of Grama Swaraj. Gandhiji wanted to independent each and every village in India. Gram means village. He wanted to independent each and every village in India, and his idea of Gram Swaraj was given a lot of importance by one of his famous follower, Vinoba Bhave. So after the martyrdom of Mahatma Gandhi, what happened is that Vinoba Bhave, he travelled all over India to spread the idea of Gandhiji, that is Gram Swaraj. And he expressed his idea about this Gram Swaraj in each and every state of India. And when he reached Pochampally in Andhra Pradesh, he conducted a meeting there. When he reached Pochampally in Andhra Pradesh, he conducted a meeting there. So what happened is that when he is conducting a meeting in Andhra Pradesh, in Pochampally in Andhra Pradesh, there he met some landless farmers who demanded land for their well-being to him. So in Pochumbali in Andhra Pradesh, he met some landless farmers who demand land for their well-being. But Vinoba Bhave immediately can't do anything. But he promised to talk to Indian government about their demand and to find a good solution for it. But he asked them to follow cooperative farming as a part of this. So when this talk is going on there in that area, one famous personality, his name was Sri Ramachandra Reddy. He offered his 80 acres of land to 80 landless farmers in that area. This act is known as a Bhudan. So, Sri Ramachandra Reddy was ready to offer his 80 acres of land to 80 landless farmers in that area. This act is known as a Bhudan. At the same time, some Semindars and owners of villages offered their villages among the landless farmers, which is known as a Gramdan. So, after hearing about Gandhiji's ideas of Gram Swaraj and about the meetings and the speeches of Vinoba Bhave, some of the Semindars, villagers, that those who are having a lot of land with them, and some great personalities like Sri Ramachandra Reddy, they offered their land, their 80 acres of land or their villages to these poor landless farmers, which were known as Bhudan and Gramdan. So this was the main idea behind this Bhudan and Gramdan movement. So I hope you all understand with this topic, that is technological and institutional reforms, which include there's land reforms and agriculture reforms and various other new ways like Kisan credit cards and weather bulletins, all that, and about this Bhudan and Gramdan, or the bloodless revolution of Vinoba Bhave. Okay, thank you.